We got some big news for the Zelda 40th anniversary, guys, and we got some big news about future remakes from Nintendo as well. Now, today's video is low-key packed specifically with Zelda information, bro. One of the hottest topics right now. I absolutely love getting new information with some Zelda stuff. So, guys, stay tuned. Right before we do hop into it, I would so appreciate if you could subscribe to the channel. Help me reach my goal of 10K. We are so insanely close, guys. So let's see if we get today's sub goal of 15 subscribers. Let's just honestly hop right into it. Alrighty, so this is a big rumor which is picking up a lot of steam out there, and it seems like a lot of pretty reputable sources are talking about this one, saying that there is a Switch 2 Pro controller in these Zelda colors that are in the works. It's at Mike Odyssey, who explains that Nintendo is gearing up to release a Switch 2 Pro controller in the Zelda colors instead of a themed Switch 2 console. I honestly kind of think that a Zelda themed console is still going to happen for the Switch 2. I think it'd be a lost opportunity if they're not dropping that, because man, I need myself a Switch 2 Special Edition Zelda console, man. And honestly, I think a Pro controller is going to be a nice thing to go along with that. So anyway, let's continue saying then at Necrolipe confirmed these claims by stating that they have actually seen this controller and adds in the description that it has green on the grips in a style similar to the Splatoon controller with golden elements, the Triforced crest centered between the plus and the minus buttons. And this is a generated concept right here. It should look essentially just like this. I mean, it's very, very close. The Switch 2 Pro controller is a great controller, and I definitely want to see some more additions of it, because I mean, bro, having all these colors and different themes, it's gotta happen. I don't know why Nintendo have not been pushing this stuff out, especially a themed console. I think everybody wants a themed console just so bad. I know I'm waiting for one myself. Cardinal, one of the GOATs, has made so many awesome just fan-made renders of some potential Switch 2 Special Edition consoles. So guys, let me know, what console would you want to see a special edition of? But that is not all. This is kind of just the surface of what's actually happening right now and going down within the whole Zelda rumor space. And here's that original tweet from @Necrolipe, basically saying that he has actually seen it and just explaining what it exactly is. He is saying specifically that he's not sure if there aren't or are any Zelda themed consoles in the plans, but he just knows the existence of the themed Pro controller. So it's a different source saying that there may not actually be a console coming out still. But then we also have Nick over here saying that both the controller and the console are Zelda themed, but they're not necessarily for Ocarina of Time. And now I kind of do think this would make sense from the Nintendo's standpoint, but also I do think a Ocarina of Time themed console and controller would be pretty sick. But hey, if it's Zelda in general, that would be peak, and I think that they will be doing a console and a controller. I think it makes the most sense for them, especially now that the Switch 2 has some age to it, so people are still going to be wanting to be getting a Switch 2. And also, we're at the point where people wouldn't feel too, I guess you could say, shy to get another Switch 2 or swap out their old Switch 2 for a newer one with a cool theme, if that makes sense. So essentially, the new Zelda console may just be a Zelda console, not a Zelda Ocarina of Time console. But I'm sure there still will be some sort of, connection to Ocarina of Time. And obviously, this would be for the 40th anniversary of Zelda, which they really haven't been talking about. And that's why I think that a lot of this stuff is probably going to come out later this year or just next year. It's very typical for Nintendo to be doing anniversary stuff and announcements a year later. It's just so typical of them to do that. And this is actually from a while ago, guys. Basically, before we even had the Ocarina of Time remake leaked, saying that he has been told that they're getting a Zelda-themed Switch 2 console. We're not sure if the game is going to be bundled or not. I mean, I'm assuming there may be a version that's going to be bundled with it, but also, maybe not, with just how the typical modern gaming atmosphere is. But look at the date of this Discord message. The original one was 2024. So this Ocarina of Time remake has kind of been in the works and rumored now for some time now. And now we're going to talk about more stuff with the Zelda Direct. There should be a Zelda Direct. We have had many rumors from pretty reputable sources talking about when the next General Direct is. It should be September. There usually is one in September. We had one last September that kind of set the tone for 2026. So I think most, if not all of the things that were announced last year have actually been released. And that's why it makes sense for a September 2026 Direct to kind of just set up what's to come in 2027, as well as just, more stuff about Ocarina of Time. And so essentially what people are saying is that this next General Direct should have a heavy focus on Zelda and Ocarina of Time. Like, it'll be kind of the big 40th anniversary of Zelda Direct, if that makes sense. But with that, we will still be getting other stuff. So the typical announcements, I'm sure they're going to be announcing some other brand new games, some new titles for, I don't know, maybe Mario could be getting its 3D game announced, revealed during that direct as well, and then dropping next year. They could also just be announcing some smaller stuff. You know, there is rumors of a Metroid game dropping, even honestly Star Fox. I don't think they're going to announce the next Star Fox game anytime soon though, but hey, we do have rumors that they're dropping another Star Fox eventually. And a few weeks ago we did have a rumor about the Ocarina of Time remake pre-orders dropping in August, so 4th of August. And basically, if you remember this, apparently the GameStop website was showing a date, and apparently it was actually incorrect. It was for a different game. It was for Beast of Reincarnation is what people are saying, which is another Game Freak game that they're dropping. So this information just got a little bit more interesting though, because we do have this user over on Twitter saying 2 weeks, and of course this is Zelda right here from July 17th, and now 2 weeks, that would align itself pretty well with that August 4th pre-order date. Now, this wouldn't be too far-fetched to just wake up and have Nintendo maybe even dropping a trailer or just saying that, hey, pre-orders are up. Now, Nintendo, man, they just do some odd things. So I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure how reputable this source is and has been in the past, but I do think this has been picking up some traction. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about this, and it kind of would make sense aligning up with that August 4th rumor, even though that could have been a mistake. But hey, what are the odds that it wasn't actually a mistake and it was just ironic that the Beast of Reincarnation game is like having the same kind of stuff going on the same day? But regardless, if that date is wrong or if it's correct, still, we are going to be getting a pre-order date and the release date for Ocarina of Time within the next couple of months, because this game is still coming out this year. So, of course, we don't really have that many months left of this year, so one can only assume just naturally this game will be getting some more information very soon. And now more information about Miyamoto talking about the future remakes. Now I do kind of want to make a whole other video about this with just like all of Nintendo in general, but I'm going to specifically bring this one up today in regards to another Zelda remake following Ocarina of Time, which would of course be Majora's Mask. We've had very light rumors, I would say, like nothing very serious, no big leaks about it, I would say. Kind of would make sense for a Majora's Mask remake to drop in maybe a year or two. So basically saying Miyamoto has given a new interview and explained that he does believe remakes offer many advantages. That is a path that Nintendo will continue to explore in the future, saying some people will say there are lots of remakes, but after 5 years, many players move on to something else and stop playing them. Today's young people haven't necessarily had the chance to discover games that came out 10 years ago, remaking them with gameplay and technology adapted current standards, then re-releasing them is therefore a good way to meet that demand. Introducing the original games to a new generation also paves the way for future developments of the franchise, and that's why we've been actively pursuing the strategy in recent years, which is very, very good news because they're still making brand new games and remakes of some amazing games in the past, just with newer technology that meets today's standards. For a lot of news about Nintendo training their newcomers, like the new people on the team, to be able to still have that Nintendo magic when some of the OGs in Nintendo eventually aren't here anymore. Nintendo are setting themselves up for some big things in the future. They're playing chess over here, man. They are not playing no checkers. Reintroducing all these old franchises to brand new generations, you know, giving their employees raises, basically making them more motivated to make bigger and better games. So bro, Nintendo, they are making some very good and big moves right now, I would say. And so that's why I think a Majora's Mask remake probably is in works, or in the talks at least, at Nintendo. My theory is that they're probably going to wait to see how Ocarina of Time performs and see like what the game does, what the reception is before they even start working on the Majora's Mask remake, because we are still not sure if Ocarina of Time has anything really new to offer. I am assuming that the game will have new features and new abilities, or just, I don't know, new combat, basically just new stuff to make it a little bit different overall as the same game still. So that's when, if we do get a Majora's Mask game in the future based on what Ocarina of Time did, I think we could kind of predict how Majora's Mask will also change, if that makes sense. So let me know all of your theories and all of your thoughts, guys. And make sure to subscribe, because I will tell you guys as soon as we do get more Zelda information for the future, for the next Direct and everything. That should be pretty soon. So hope you guys have a fantastic and a blessed day today. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.